it's another side that like wants to take more, wants to go that one more round, because like going that one more round when you don't think you can, that's what makes all the difference in your life. You know what I mean?
Good day and welcome to another episode of One More Round, the Rocky Series podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and with me today, we have the lovely Katie and the more lovely guest co-host, Jared. How you doing?
I'm doing great, gang. It's great to be here with my Rocky friends.
Oh, and he's bringing us that velvet voice.
Yes.
Well, yeah, Jared is not only, I know, I wish I could just tell the audience. So this show is on YouTube, so please check out the YouTube video just so you can see. Not only does he have like the gray coiffed hair, he's got the silky smooth voice. He's a dream. He does not have a face for podcasting. He belongs everywhere. In fact, he is on the screen. You can see him now.
Oh, I'm out of focus. I don't know what's wrong.
Well, it's a filter.
I'm blushing too. You better stop it.
It's a filter. It makes you look 35. Even
I'll
though you're
it.
only 38. But okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jared, why don't you let people know where you're from if they don't know already?
Oh, I am the co-host of The Hyperspace, podcasting in the 25th century. The interwebs, well, we say it's the first and only podcast. It is in the 25th century. This is the only podcast left. But,
wow.
I do enjoy being on your podcast as well. And we just talk about nerdy stuff, Star Wars, Star Trek, all that stuff, and come give us a listen if you like that kind of thing.
I'm sure people do, and you do a great job as always. You're the first person I've got a couple of my Rolodex, but I would say you're in the top two. I won't say the other name because I don't want to hurt that person's feelings, but you're my first go-to that I call, and I do appreciate your willingness to come, even when you can't come on. It's not like there's always like, oh man, I wish I knew earlier or whatever it is. Yeah. And I will say this, Katie is going to be going on more vacations in May. So if you're not too busy, I know you got some stuff coming up, but if you're not too busy, I'm going to reach out to you as well for a couple of fill-ins for that because all right.
Just let me know.
All right. So you're kind of like you're Kyle's replaced. Yeah, the reason why Kyle's not here, he's fired from the show. I should have started with that. I apologize. His comments have been highly inappropriate lately, and he's been kicked off the airwaves. No.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know.
What can I submit my resume, Ryan?
Yeah, we got an opening. You get to make lots of money on this show. I'll tell you, rolling it.
I love this show. I love doing this show.
Kyle, thank you. We love having you here. Kyle, he wasn't able to record today. We're recording on a Saturday, Behind the Curtain Vice Sunday, because I'm traveling tomorrow to be out of town for a week to do some training. I am doing some satellite training. That's all I can tell you. But I have to do some training next week, and I have to go on the road and drive. So I had to record on the Saturday. So thank you for stepping in, Jared. Okay.
No problem.
All right. Well, before we get rocking and rolling, Katie, I think we got some, the fan mail popped this week.
Indeed. We have one from Donald. Fun fact about Rocky V toys. Dear Ryan, Kyle, and Katie, you asked for emails, and here it is. Congratulations on another fantastic Rocky season. Your coverage is, as always, excellent. Since you're approaching the Santa Polly scene, I thought I'd share an interesting tidbit from the Rocky V toy world. We all know that movies often get toy lines, and it's no surprise that the most produced action figure for Rocky V was Rocky Balboa. However, because Rocky doesn't step into the ring in this installment, his toy was just him in street clothes. At that time, it was considered boring for kids to play with and not visually exciting for adult collectors to display. The film's reputation as the worst in the franchise didn't help toy sales either. As a result, you can still find the overproduced and undersold Rocky V Rocky toys at relatively low prices. On the other hand, Polly didn't usually receive many toy releases, but for Rocky V, he got a Santa Polly variant figure as part of the toy line. Because it's a variation of an already somewhat rare figure, Santa Polly is now considered Rocky 5 toy gold among collectors. The last one sold on eBay went for hundreds of dollars. It's amusing to think that in this world, Polly could actually outsell Rocky. Keep punching, Donald.
Thanks, Donald. That's a great email, and he's a faithful listener of the show. I'm not surprised. I didn't know this, but hearing the information, that's not surprising. That something that you would think, oh, it's just Polly in a Santa outfit, would be more popular today than obviously just Rocky wearing his outfit again from the first Rocky film. It's for kids or collectors. It doesn't seem as glamorous. My favorite Rocky toy, though, is actually the slab of meat that you can buy. Have you seen that? You can actually buy the slab of meat that Rocky punches in the first Rocky film.
Are you being serious?
Oh yeah, that's a real thing.
Wow.
What? Like hanging from a thing, or
I don't know if it comes with a hanging item. You can Google it, my friends.
oh my god.
I'm
Okay.
looking this up.
I'm still gonna say I'm gonna blame the wardrobe department in Rocky 5 because I think Rocky 5 street clothes, if Rocky was in better street clothes that showed him his physique more, even adult collectors would like that. Like if they had him in that sweet sweater, that would have been better.
The Christmas sweater. Yeah,
Mhm.
they should have had. You know what's funny? They should have had the Balboa family Christmas set.
Yeah.
We're gonna be covering that scene today, and they have the sweater. Robert with the earring hanging. You imagine if they had Robert hanging the earring from his ear or something as well.
The
Oh, so I have
daughter
it
I
on
never
there.
had. Yeah.
The daughter I never. I love it. A line that would not exist today, probably.
Did they make toys at the time this movie was out, or did
I
these
guess so.
Rocky figures? I know they did a whole series of them, like in the early 2000s. But
So
I
are
don't.
you saying was this a toy that was actually made in 1990? Or are you saying they had
Yes,
I don't know.
okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Because there's
A
a whole
better
range
podcast
of
would know
figures.
this.
Okay, got
I
it.
didn't
Yeah.
even know. I'm like the worst. I didn't even know there were Rocky toys. I literally didn't
yeah.
even know that
Yeah.
until recently.
Yeah.
Like I just saw like I showed last year, the year before, some of the Rocky, like the cars and stuff. Like I have Gazzo's car and Rocky's car from Rocky 2, but I thought those were just like a new thing that like it was like a retro nostalgia play.
Wow. No, they had like these like 6-inch figures out like in the early 2000s from like every movie all the way through Balboa.
Hmm.
And they were, it was Rocky and his different trunks and different outfits and all the characters you can think. Even George Washington Duke in his big fur coat. It's
Okay.
it's pretty crazy.
If you can make $1, somebody will make $1.
Yeah.
Actually, I found, let me see if I can show you. Here we go. So I'll share the screen here. So, I gotta remove that. One sec. See if this works. Let me try this again. Share screen. Okay. There we go. So
That's them.
there you go. There's George Washington Duke. Yeah, it looks like a bathrobe though. It looks like a bathrobe. It doesn't
Yeah,
look
it
like
does.
How much is that? What are they selling it for?
$125
Oh
in
my
stock.
gosh.
There you go. Then here's
Yeah.
the street clothes one. Maybe that's what they're referring to there.
It's only $80. It's less than George Washington Duke.
Man, 2007. Yeah, I remember seeing these at Toys R Us.
Why does Tommy look like that? He looks like
Yeah, that
he's
does not
angry.
look like Tom. Also, that's like, I don't know, it doesn't look like Tommy at all.
Well, here's a close up of it. There you go.
Man.
But yeah, he looks ripped there on that one. Now I'm trying to find the Rocky 5. It's Paulie. I guess that's the key here. Where's the Paulie?
Rocky.
Ooh, I like his actual. Ooh, that one on the far right. I like. Ooh, and the robot. How did I not
Oh,
know
yeah.
these existed?
Okay, where's the Santa? I guess I got to actually put. the
Just
word
type
Santa.
in like maybe
Santa.
Santa figure.
There it is.
There
Oh
we go.
man,
is.
look at that. Wow. What are they selling that for?
Oh, sorry. Let me go back.
I bet this is the
Wait, where's the price point on that? Oh, here's one on eBay. $500.
oh my gosh.
$500 on eBay.
Look at that
There you go.
figure. Good grief.
Look, it comes with a bald spot.
I know,
These
man.
are
Look at
bad.
that.
These are really bad. Like the likeness is terrible.
There it is. It's rare. It is rare. You can buy it
Wow.
for $500. So that's the real thing. There it is in package. Yeah,
And everybody, man, that is crazy.
that's funny. Thanks, Donald. That was a fun little
That was fun. Thank
side
you.
trip. Yeah.
The next one is from Michael of the Screen Nerds podcast. He's checking in. Hey, Ryan, Katie, and Kyle, and Jared now. I was just thinking of you all while watching the new Jason Statham film, A Working Man, this past weekend, which I reviewed for my podcast. I was surprised to learn that Sly himself co-wrote the film alongside director David Ayer. I didn't realize he had a hand in it until I saw his name in the opening credits while sitting in the theater. Ooh, he even went to the theater. Anyway,
Wow.
keep up the great work as always. Best, Michael.
That I did know. I actually didn't know that David Ayer directed. David Ayer is an interesting director. He's done some great films like End of Watch, Fury.
Furry.
Furry.
That's a different.
That's a different movie. Yeah.
That's a wholly different whole movie that you might be
Mhm.
surprised by. I kind of like him. He's a weird one. Like I sort of enjoy his movies, but then he has some really bad ones. He did Dark Blue with Kurt Russell. Again, the Suicide Squad. Then he did The Beekeeper, which is a very successful film, Jason Statham. But the Working Man film, I did know that Sly worked on it. I wonder how much he actually wrote. Probably a little bit of the dialogue. I would assume dialogue. Yeah.
Cool. Then we have one from Vic Arone. Or is it Arone? Sorry, Vic.
It's Italian, so it might be Arone.
I know, that's why I wondered. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you, Vic. He says, keep up the great work. Hello, all. I sent an email a while back, but maybe it didn't make it through. Ryan, what's happening here?
I know. I need a secretary. I know. The network is so big and vast that I sometimes I get lost in all the fan mail, and it's overwhelming. Yeah.
He says, perhaps Kyle's onto something. I had to dig up an old computer, set up an account, and even take a 6-week course on computer technology. Then I had to sign up for the internet. Kyle,
He's
you're
talking
right.
he's talking about how hard. Kyle has been really discouraging our listeners from email and saying how difficult it is to email. So I guess Vic is doubling down. It truly is difficult. I apologize, Vic, for the journey. I apologize.
And thank you for going through all of that.
Oh,
Even
yeah, that's true, too.
especially that 6-week course.
Yeah.
He says, no, seriously, I'm such a fan that I would write every week. I get really excited when you read my emails and I make my wife listen. She says, oh my God, again, leave those poor people alone. But I tell her, no, Ryan wants people to write in.
That's right.
Maybe you're getting
You need a new wife. That's what you need.
maybe you're getting fewer message because of the tariffs. Are 25% fewer emails crossing the border now? Now, this, I think he's maybe, that there's something to that, I think.
Well, then I need more Canadians writing to me. Where's my Canadian listeners?
Yeah.
There
Good
you
point. Good point.
Yeah.
Because I think Canadians have really been, there's a lot of solidarity now amongst the
That's right.
Canadians.
By
So
Canadian. That's right.
yeah. So where are
Email-
speaking
yeah,
of
email
where are,
Canadian.
where are the emails? He says, I think I speak for all the listeners when I say you have the best podcast out there. I was going to say that Kyle is the brains, Katie is the beauty, and Ryan is the heart, but that's not true. Each of you has brains, beauty, and heart, and the warmth and love for Rocky comes through in every episode. Aw, I love that you made us not into typical stereotypes.
I prefer the stereotype, but continue, Vic.
Oh,
And apparently Ryan and Kyle's love for redheads with big knockers. Knockers, that's a fun word.
I love it. That's a great word.
Come on, guys. She looks 45. Yes, she's on my side. She does look 45. No
Yeah.
offense to 45-year-olds, but
Yeah, you're right. She does look older. Jared, do you think Karen in the Rocky film looks older than? Do you think she looks 45, even though she's not?
definitely.
no, I don't think she looks 45. She does look older than Tommy, though. Way
She's
older.
older than Tommy. I think
Yeah.
it's just experience. I think she's just a little bit more weathered. She's a little bit better weathered.
Well, you could say that.
Okay.
Weathered.
He says, get poor Tommy a younger woman. Last episode was very risque with Kyle talking about swinging, big boobs, and adult films. Just another reason why this podcast is the best. You never know what you're going to get is
That's
the point,
true.
I think.
I know. The tenders are terrible.
I'll leave you with an actual Rocky 5 question. Not to
Mm.
spoil the ending, but what do you guys think happens after? What do you guys think happens the day after? It's all well and good that Rocky knocks Tommy out, but Tommy is still the heavyweight champion. Wouldn't it be funny if he continues to fight and stays the champ for years, gaining fame and millions? It's certainly embarrassing to lose to Rocky on the street, but that doesn't take away his title. Anyway, keep up the great work, and I'll definitely keep listening. Victor from New York, USA. P.S. Justice for Kyle. I too think Paulie lives at the gym. If he was staying at the house, wouldn't he have the old basement while Robert slept upstairs near his parents? LOL. I love this ongoing debate. I think you're forgetting that this is 1990 and adults were far more important than kids at this time. And they would the adult would always get preferential bedroom access.
But you think Paulie would love to have the skank bank basement down there? You know what I mean? Like he would have that.
No, he's a full-on adult. He needs his creature comfort.
It's a good argument, though. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate that the debate goes on forever. I love it. Now, that is an interesting thought experiment. We haven't really talked about what does happen to Tommy's career, so to speak. I mean, he is technically the champion of the world. He holds the belt. He doesn't lose the belt just because he lost to Rocky in the street fight. And if Rocky doesn't press charges, I know it's weird that we'll get to it, but the police arrest Tommy at the end. Like, why? Why though?
Assault. I don't know.
But so Rocky fought
I know.
too.
It's a movie. I don't know. I do think that there's massive embarrassment, and then he loses his confidence, and he loses. He ends up like he loses his the magic, as they say.
I always thought it ended in disgrace for him.
That's
like
what
maybe he didn't even fight again. He just gave up the title
or the
left.
Boxing Commission.
Yeah,
maybe it was like because of the
illegal street fight, maybe.
Like
business.
Like some sort of it goes against the rules and whatnot.
Yeah, if you think about this was like truly real, think of some real names. Kyle's better at naming all the real life boxers, but can you imagine, like, let's say Tyson back 25 years ago fights whoever the champion was at the time after him or whatever, or sorry, Tyson was the champion, let's say, and he just starts.
It would have been like Sugar Ray Leonard or something. Yeah,
like just starts attacking him in the street at a restaurant. It would be very bad for business. So at the end of the day, it would just look bad to who, like, dude, you're the champion of the world and you're fighting the ex-champion who was a beloved person in the street. Yeah, it's going to look bad for business at the end of the day. Yeah. So
but yeah, you're right. Yeah. Good question. Good thought experiment for sure.
In theory, he could have turned his life around, held onto the belt, and said, "I'm not, repented, so to speak." But I tend to believe that he probably just fell apart.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think we got a couple of YouTube comments as well. Great emails, by the way, guys. Thank you so much.
Indeed. Yeah, they came through. We have one from Andy, a couple, I should say, from Andy Grew. Ryan, you read it right. Tommy versus Kane could have served as a gradual fall to the dark side. That could have made for an interesting scene, especially if told from Rocky's perspective. Imagine watching him lose the kid in real time and then it all culminating in their fight.
Yeah. So again, I asked so Rocky's in the corner. This is his version, which I kind of like. I do agree with it. This is an interesting angle for this. Is that because we see in the movie, he goes, "I'd like to thank the person who's been on my shoulder, like an angel on my shoulder, George." But imagine if he said that while Rocky was still his ring man. Like Rocky's in the corner of the ring, and we as an audience we're blown away with this revelation. Because we kind of see it a mile away in the theatrical version. But imagine if we were tricked with Rocky as an audience, like. We're cheering for Tommy. We're happy he won. Rocky's excited. We don't really think he's turned to the dark side. All of a sudden, he just like, what? He's thanking George. He's been working with George this whole time. And the betrayal for the audience and Rocky to feel at the same time would have been an interesting movie experience.
Interesting.
And then you have the street fight later, all the same, however you get there. But the idea being that, we really hate this guy. Like the embarrassment and the shame that Rocky would have, because the Rocky would have been the corner. It would have been a great acting moment for Slide to have that look of like embarrassed because he's supposed to be excited for his student who's won the belt, but now he's feeling like embarrassment and shame and betrayal at the same time. Like would have been an interesting scene to act all those emotions.
Mhm.
Anyways, good thought experiment, Andy.
Bottom line, Rocky, as he himself predicted, was a crummy manager. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. He
Mhm.
redeems himself in the Creed films a bit, but
True.
Mm.
Yeah. Also, here's one for all of you. At one point, it's clear Tommy gets a sponsorship. What is it? It's Googleable. Try not to.
Jared, do you remember? I don't remember.
Like
So
a
he does get
sports drink or something?
I guess so. I guess he got some sort of sponsorship in the film. And so Andy is saying that we can't Google it, but he wants to know if we know off the top of our head. I don't.
No. Okay. The only thing that comes to mind for me is Tommy is wearing the stuff he's wearing after the fight. Do you guys remember the brand Pony?
No, I
No.
don't.
What was the product?
They're like sneakers. It's like Adidas or Nike, but this was a kind of a bigger brand back in the 80s and early 90s called Pony, and Tommy is decked out in Pony stuff.
That might be it
after.
then.
That might be it.
So
Good call.
I don't know. Check my work because I don't know if that's it.
So those were Pony sneakers. I've never heard.
Oh,
I've never
I haven't
heard of Pony.
either.
Wow,
Interesting.
Jared,
Okay.
bring it in.
Wow.
That so. Let me see if this is in Rocky 5. Is that the? No, that didn't come up. So what is the? How would I Google this?
Well, what sponsorship
Tommy-
did Tommy get?
Tommy Morrison sponsor. Don't look at my spelling, guys. I I know how to spell.
Would it be
I
Tommy,
know.
Tommy Gunn?
Oh, you're right.
Instead of the real guy.
They're one of the same sometimes. Tommy Gunn sponsorship Rocky 5. Let's see what we get here. Oh, it's to the wiki here maybe. All right. Well, I don't want to waste everyone's time. I'll see if I can find it off screen here. But yeah, I wonder what it is. Does anyone know who's listening? I'll
There's
look
some
up.
trivia there.
Oh,
Go back to your
Yeah,
search
she-
results, and I feel like it was.
Oh, was it there? Not the
Yeah, I
wiki?
think so.
No, it's Reddit. I don't know what is.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, you can look off. That's weird. I wonder what it is. Well, Andy, if we can't figure it out by the time this is edited, let us know because I don't even see it in a quick Google. He says it's Googleable. Google.
Yeah.
I know that's what I'm.
The
Okay.
jacket. Donald's wondering what jacket did he wear? I like the pony idea.
I do too.
If you're saying he's wearing pony shoes there, Jared, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Says,
without like reading an article, it's
Well,
not. like-
Michael says here in real life, such athletes that were sponsored by Pony were Dan Marino, Reggie Jackson, and boxers Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Larry Holmes, and Leon Spinks. I wonder if Kyle was here if he would know that because I had no idea. I've never heard of this brand, but yet this brand has sponsored some big players.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay. All right. What did Andy say next? He gives us a couple. Thanks,
yeah.
Andy, for that. Though we
Yeah,
got
yeah.
some research to do. I guess. Yeah.
Sorry, I was asking ChatGPT.
Everyone's looking for the answer.
I know.
Everyone's
We're looking at our phones.
He says he could search for it and find out, but it's not as easy as just punching it in, I guess. So I don't know what he's talking about. That's interesting. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
All right. What's the next comment?
All right. He then says, okay, according to ChatGPT, for whatever, it says no actual company sponsors him.
Yeah.
No
So-
corporate logos, blah, blah, blah. But
Might
you
be
know, it's wrong a
Might
lot
be-
of the
It might
times.
be Pony.
It could be,
Jared's
could
saying
be.
he
Well,
saw the Pony shoes. That's a
These
good
are.
call.
This is a Rocky. That's his shoe. Apparently was in a Planet Hollywood at one time.
Well, he
gotta
does
be
have
the
white.
answer.
Yeah, he always wears white and blue, or that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that tracks.
You
It
can
does
buy
track.
these screen used shoes for $1,500.
That's it.
Sweet.
They were
Okay.
displayed in a Planet Hollywood.
So I'm gonna go with Pony. I like Jared. I like that because I don't remember Tommy having a sponsorship the way we see in Rocky 3, or Shamrock Meats or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't recall him like hockeying anything.
Yeah.
The
Well, you-
closest thing,
Yeah. You remember in Rocky 4, everybody has the boss shirts on.
yeah. Yeah, so I think that's what that's what Andy's
Yeah,
talking
no,
about.
that's I
Yeah.
like the pony idea.
Okay.
Also, I didn't know that was a brand. So,
Yeah, I didn't know. I've never
uh,
heard of it. Yeah.
okay, so then Andy says, "Oh, and doesn't Rocky bring up the subject of sex from a trainer's perspective in Creed
Yeah,
with
he
Adonis?"
does.
Yeah, he does.
He
Yeah,
does, but the point is that he brings it up with Tommy as well. Tommy disobeyed him, but actually Adonis didn't.
right.
Like he couldn't rein Tommy, and Tommy was just he goes, my legs won't get weak. Where Adonis, didn't
Well,
Adonis agree to that training? Did he,
well,
or did he say that's old man?
well,
Or
he
did he
did
say,
leave. He did leave Bianca and Adonis together in the hotel when they were in London.
but
And
didn't he
he's
make a
just like,
joke
"Hey,
about?
just remember." He goes,
Yeah,
"Yeah, the
yeah.
leg thing," but that I'm sure they were
Mhm.
jumping
Do
each other as soon
you think
as
they had
he
coitus?
closed the door.
You think
Well,
they had
we
coitus
see it
together?
after the fight. We see them
Oh,
indulging in each
that's
other.
in that's in Creed 2.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
They're all this. I conflate them all. I can't remember. Okay. Then we have a comment from Eccentric Views YouTube channel, which is Gino, our favorite Italian Australian.
That's
Wow,
right.
Ryan, you like Rocky 5 over Rocky Balboa? Big call. But I actually agree with you, mate. Jared's
So
got
Jared-
issues.
yeah, I know.
There's a
Jared's
lot
got
of
issues, so.
crazy people on this podcast. I tell you what.
Okay, well, we're not gonna. Because Jared, you are the guest today. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
no.
go into my part, but I want to hear your thoughts as to here. Let me do this because we all know what makes Rocky 5 what it is. We get it. So
Yeah.
don't. I'm not trying to put you on the spot here. Don't give the obvious answers, but
Sure.
objectively, why is Rocky Balboa a better Rocky film or story than Rocky 5? Why do you think it's better?
Well, of course, this is all subjective.
Yeah, of course. Your
And-
opinion. This is your opinion. I want to hear
and-
your opinion. Yeah.
For Rocky Balboa, for me personally, I think Rocky Balboa represents sort of almost a meta thing around Stallone himself. Years later,
Right.
16 years after Rocky 5, Stallone, he had a lot of troubles and everything, and
Mhm.
he sort of found his way back to this character. And I think that the story in the film, of course, echoes a lot of that real world stuff, and that resonated with me, and I appreciated it so much because I loved being able to go to the movies in 2006 and see another Rocky movie
Of course. Yeah.
that
Oh,
that
yeah.
that no one ever thought that you were ever going to see again.
Me included.
Yeah, and I appreciate that it's different. It does have a different feel than the films. 1 through 5 can almost be a separate box set, I
Sure.
guess.
Sometimes it is sold that way. Sometimes
And
it
I
is
would
sold that way.
say, like Balboa, Creed 1 and 2, they're almost a trilogy. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, agreed.
And I appreciate the fact that it looked different, that they used HD cameras with the fights. They brought it into the 21st century. And I think Rocky 5, Stallone was really trying to hold on to something that wasn't there anymore. That I think he was trying to make Rocky Balboa 15 years too early with Rocky 5.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I think Rocky Balboa, that seemed like a story he wanted to. I mean, it's a story that reflected his age. As he's getting older, he's losing people and losing things in his life. And I think with Rocky 5, he wanted to do that, but he skipped past all the tough stuff. It's like, okay, well, I want Rocky to be down on his luck and brain damage and all this stuff, but you don't really feel that because Rocky hadn't been away for that long. And a lot of the things in Rocky 5 are very contrived to bring him to this low point in his life.
There's
And
definitely
it's
some
all
plot
very
issues.
accelerated, and it doesn't
Yeah.
feel organic or natural to me. With
No.
Balboa, you have 16 years since you've seen him,
Mhm.
and that's why it feels real to me, I guess. And Rocky 5, and there's things about Rocky 5 that you guys have talked about that trap it firmly in 1990 with the music choices and the editing choices and stuff like that. And I think Balboa feels a little more. It's more modern, but it feels more timeless to me, and
Mhm.
almost a better bookend to the series. Like you got Rocky, and then you could watch Rocky and Rocky Balboa
Yeah, I agree.
back to
It,
back.
it makes sense. It would still make sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so that's kind of where I'm coming from. I just
No,
think
those are all
Rocky.
true. Those are good points. Like they're actually, I don't disagree. The funny thing is, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. Everything you're saying is absolutely, as a Rocky fanatic that I am, it's all true. Like that's the funny thing. Everything you're saying is absolutely true. And the irony, here's the irony of Rocky Balboa. You, we have it because 5 was a failure. This is the irony.
Yeah.
If 5 was a box office success, for whatever reason, let's just pretend it made
Yeah.
more money than Rocky 4. Let's pretend it was critically like in the 70s, like Rotten Tomatoes. It was just like people loved it, critics loved it, and it was like, wow, it actually ended very well in that universe. We would never have had Rocky Balboa. So everything you're saying is true, Jared. Like it was his redemption story. It was Sly's chance to say, you know what? I'm not a shitey writer. I am actually a good actor. I'm going to redeem this character, the story. I'm going to give it the ending it deserves at this before it's too late, right? Before I get too old, I'm going to do it now. So the story of how it came to the screen, in much like Rocky 1, is beautiful. Like the behind the scenes stuff elevates the movie. The problem is objectively now we're going back to this movie. The movie exists because Rocky 5 was a failure, and this is the irony here. Because we have Rocky Balboa now properly ending the kind of the Rocky story, Rocky 5 ironically is a better film because we have.
I agree with that.
Is that weird? Like
because you know it's not the end.
You know it's not the. This is just a chapter. This isn't the final Rocky film. So when this movie ends, you're not thinking, "Oh, really? That's it?" No. We got another great Rocky film. This is just tells you how he got here. This tells you how he's back in Philly. This is such an important part of the canon.
No, I think it's absolutely indispensable, Rocky 5, as far as the chronology, and you have to have Rocky 5 or you don't have Balboa.
And so when Balboa came out, I was like you, is amazing. I love it, and I still love it. Don't get me wrong. But there's this weird growth that seems to be happening with the 5th film. Whereas Rocky Balboa, can you believe it? It came out 19 years ago.
Oh my God.
Believe that?
Yeah.
I know. So it's weird that as Rocky 5, since the time of Rocky Balboa's release, for me has increased in value, and Balboa weirdly has. I find it. I don't know what it is. I love the film, but it hasn't increased. Let's put it that way. Rocky 5 has definitely increased in value, where Rocky Balboa has held steady, if not. There's more flaws in it than I maybe cared to admit at the time because I was so excited that it did well. There you go.
He basically redid the bookend. Like he redid, and I think both of you have very eloquently stated your thoughts on it, and I wholeheartedly agree with both.
I do too. It's tough.
It's hard. I haven't seen both movies. To me, are the least watched. So I don't recall them as well. I see what you're saying about the story itself. Like the nostalgia factor is huge for Balboa. But if you take that away, is the story is good? I think that makes sense, Ryan. But I do think like from a quality film perspective, 6 is better. But that doesn't change. Like my favorite movie to watch is Rocky 4. It's not the best in quality, but it's the most enjoyable for me to watch. Both 5 and 6 to me are the least enjoyable, in large part because I really don't care for the opponents in either movie.
That's the issue too. And here I'll say this: Tommy Morris is a more engaging antagonist than Mason Lyon Dixon. So Donald brings up a good point that Rocky 5 also enhances Creed. Creed gives Rocky another chance to manage a career. So it's like a redemption story for Rocky as a manager, where he failed in the 5th film. So it's an interesting discussion. So thank you, Jared, for saying that. And that was I didn't say it as eloquently when Jared heard that episode. He goes, "What? What?" So it's very because that's the headline is Ryan says Rocky 5 is better than Rocky. That's the headline, but it makes for a good discussion as to why. How do we get there? Why are we there? But again, I like Jared, of course, Katie. I've been a fan of these films for decades, and it's just interesting how Rocky 5 has increased in value. But I can't say that 19 years about Balboa. That's the discussion where one film has increased in value, the other one It hasn't in 19 years. So that's an interesting discussion. That much I can say. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, here we go, folks. We're going into the film. So, Jared, I'm excited to have you here with our watch along. I think I've got it lined up to where we were, give or take. So we're at the scene now where George, of course, is telling Tommy that the parade is going by. He's got Karen there popping out of her dress at the Christmas party. And yeah. Oh, here's a question for you, Jared. Would you rather be at this Christmas party or at the Balboas if you were 19?
Oh, man. I don't know.
You're 19. You're 19 and single, and you got to.
Okay. Well, I mean, if people are handing me $20,000 checks, I guess, I'd have to pick George's Christmas party.
And you got that.
However, here's
here we
something that we forget. Rocky was his idol. Like, if you know what I mean? Like, so even if you're a horny 19-year-old, if you get to spend it with like Sylvester Stallone,
And let me tell you something, Katie. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You've never been a 19-year-old man. When there's something that's very it's hard to explain, but teenage boys, and 19 is a teenager. You're almost in the 20s, sure, but there's the power of a woman that a man the power that a woman has over a man at that age is it's hard to describe.
It's like in the Seinfeld episode where Elaine is complaining about her date. He said he had to get up early in the morning, and Jerry and George are like, men will always sacrifice sleep for sex. So he doesn't like you, Elaine.
He doesn't. Oh yeah. I have sacrificed sleep for that. So yes. Okay. All right.
Where you going? You're gonna be watching the parade go by.
Exactly.
Darling, you haven't had the big payday yet, and you won't until you fight those top contenders, and those top contenders told me, boy, I do surely own. I got the contracts.
So he owns the top contenders. He makes it very clear. And I never caught that till this watching, after 100 times watching this film, that George Rodriguez does this with his fist. Those top contenders. He makes boxing motions with his hands there. I never caught that before. He imitates a boxer stance in that moment. So he's got the contracts. He owns everybody. He's the dungeon master. This is when I pause. This is when you guys can say anything you want. You don't have to.
No further comment.
No further comment. Okay.
Yeah.
I like to give the courtesy pause before I hit play again. I do talk a lot, but I will stop. I promise.
Do you want us to say something?
No, sorry. Now there is no.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, he's got the
that-
contracts, Ryan. He surely does.
Yup.
And side note, when I hit play, there's a 3-second delay for the video to kick in. So there's
Okay.
also that. There's also that.
Okay, I'm just going to turn my mic off. Good
No,
grief.
I want you to talk. That's why you're here. Don't be silly. All right. It's a complex business.
It's a complex business. But if you want the best, then go with the best. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What about Rocky? I mean, where does he fit in the picture?
What about Rocky? If it wasn't for Rocky, we wouldn't all be here. Rocky can still train you. My God, he's done a wonderful job. Now look here. Here's 20.
Okay, so that part was cut out of the original theatrical cut. Of course, that was the workers' print. We had a nice little makeout session between Tommy and Karen. Did you like that little kiss in there, Katie?
It's fine. I just think she's like cartoonish looking, so I can't take her seriously. I don't know. Okay.
And of course, Tommy, to his credit, it was taken out of the film, and I wonder why. But to his credit, he's actually still thinking about Rocky. He's not here in spite of Rocky. Even at this moment, he's like, well, okay, that's great. You're offering me these. What about? Oh, he's done a magnificent. So I mentioned this last episode, Jared. And I want to hear your thoughts. There's a universe, I guess, where Rocky could have said, "Oh, great, sounds great. You got a manager. I'll train you to have a manager." So what would the Duke's plan been then?
If Rocky was along on this ride,
Yeah, so great. I'm not mad at you, Tommy. Sounds great. Enjoy the parade. I don't want you to miss the parade. Have fun.
well, assuming that he's already plan this. This is all a long game for
That's
him
what we cut
to get
yeah.
Rocky and Tommy to fight each other. I don't know. I think Duke would be squirming a little more. Like, this is not the way it's supposed to be.
Because it does seem, I know it's his long, and I agree that's the long. Because look, at the end of the day, that's what happens in the film. But even if Tommy was like, I'm not gonna. He was so easily brainwashed. It's basically, and Jared, you're a Star Wars fan. It's basically Anakin's fall here. He's got the Palpatine on his shoulders.
Sure.
This is George Washington Duke is Palpatine here.
Yeah, he's manipulating him this whole time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I figure he would have found some other way to make them hate each other if Rocky was on board with all this stuff.
20 grand. What's that in today's money? Probably
Like 50.
at least 50.
I'd still take 20 at this point. Come on.
No, right. Also, so two things. You guys were saying a lot of words that I don't understand.
Star Wars
Palpatine,
nerds,
yeah.
Star Wars.
Two, I don't recall in the theatrical version, George Washington Duke, he also gives Rocky more credit in the workers' print, right? He's like, we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for Rocky. I don't remember that that wasn't in the theatrical cut, right?
I don't think so.
No, it wasn't.
$1,000. Take it as an advance. Time to put some hustle behind this muscle. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, now we're back to the Balboa Christmas. Wonderful scene to get you in the mood for Christmas. Kids are watching. Now, is the bully kid is? You know what? I
He is
always
there?
forget that he is there. I never liked him anyway. I guess they made up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a question for you while
yeah,
we're
of
sitting
course.
on this freeze frame.
Yeah, cool.
Now, we are, of course, we are to believe this is Polly's house from part one, from the first
Mhm.
film.
Yes.
Don't even get me started.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Jared.
Are we? No. Are we
We're-
led to believe that?
Yes.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Even though it looks
And-
nothing like
and,
It's
it.
not the
know-
same. It is a different house, clearly, but yes.
Because, yeah, like there's no stairs in the first movie. Or
Mm-mm,
no,
mm-mm.
I didn't think so.
No, but
Okay.
they also have a different mansion in every,
Yeah,
in the,
that's true. And maybe
So-
Polly, once Rocky was giving him money, maybe he updated.
That's what I was trying to say. He did say, "Aren't you glad I kept the place?" Now,
Yeah.
keep in mind, he could have got the place in the third or fourth Rocky film. Like he could have upgraded the place. I know we're led to believe that the place is. We're all thinking as Rocky fans and nerds that he's referring to the original home that I, broke up the China
Yeah,
set
where
with
he-
the
and he-
baseball bat.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
threw the turkey away.
definitely, because
don't-
he lived in the mansion from 3
Yes.
forward.
Yes.
So I just think he could have easily upgraded though at some point,
He
easily.
popped the top and put a second floor on.
because they make no. Well, I don't mean upgrade. I meant like not renovation, but like just rented a different place or bought a different place. Because he would have got some sort of cut from Rocky. Would have given him some sort of stipend or something.
Sure.
But
But-
it's literally the old neighborhood. He runs into people he
The
used
old
to know.
neighborhood, you're
It's
right.
it is
Yeah.
supposed to be the original house.
Yeah.
I wish they just got something that looks something like it, but it's
Mhm.
bigger. It's
Oh,
got stairs.
Again, there's a lot of criticism warranted for this movie. Like things like this,
yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that. I mean, we continually
But why don't they?
um,
What?
yeah.
Why is it that they don't? Why is it they don't? I actually made this criticism. I forget what show I did it on. Now I do a couple, but the idea that why don't they think like the fan? I don't know why film companies don't want to make money. I don't understand what like the people who are like. Isn't it about make? Look, you want to make something that's I get. There's the art movie because it used to be like an actor. Let's say like Robert Downey Jr. Like he would do an art film for the sake of art because he likes to act, but then you do Marvel because buys like
Mhm.
Michael Caine said, the famous Michael Caine quote from Jaws
Yeah,
3 or whatever.
Jaws the Revenge.
Yeah, he's like, someone asked him, "Have you seen that film you're in? It's garbage or whatever." He goes, "No, I've never seen it, but I bought my mansion in Malibu or whatever the term."
Mhm.
is. Like so, like Michael Caine, you got a mansion. Like, yeah, I did it for the paycheck, of course, but then he does other films for the art. What I'm getting at is Rocky. fans, and of course, Star Wars, Jared, and the of James Bond. I don't know why they don't just say, fans seem to enjoy this formula. Let's change it. I I don't know.
Well, I think we have talked about Sly's a big picture guy, not so much a details
Yes.
guy, and therefore there should be people on the staff that are, but
They're too afraid
at
to
this
say anything.
time, yeah, you got to say yes to the boss. You can't, like we've all worked for people like, I mean, most
Yeah, no,
CEOs
no,
are
you're
that
right.
way,
You're right.
like
I've had bosses in the
can't say
military where
no.
You can't talk to them. You're right.
No.
You're right.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only consistent location that we return to in these movies is Mixed Gym, where it looks.
Good point.
You
But they
can
do
tell.
that because it works. That's
Well,
the irony.
because
They do that
that's-
because it works.
You know that's the same gym. I mean,
Yeah.
I think even in Creed, when he goes back to Mixed Gym, it's a realistic updating of that space.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to me.
A gym is a gym, though. That's pretty easy to
Yeah,
recreate.
of course.
Yeah.
But the outside shot though, they always
Right.
return the outside shot, and,
Right.
and I guess that's the point. Is I feel like they do that because aesthetically it calls on the nostalgia as a film goer. Like, oh, that's Mixed Gym. Oh,
Yeah.
that's Paul and Adrian's original house. No, it's not. Not at all.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off track on that.
Do you not listen to the show?
I was just gonna say.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Hello, Jared. This is the first time we're meeting.
This is what people pay money for. This is why this is why they pay the big bucks.
Of course.
Okay, so now Rocky's very excited, guys. He heard something on the roof. He can't believe what he just heard on the roof.
Oh,
So
man.
this place has a roof. Here we go.
Adrian, I can't believe we just come up on the roof. He just landed there and crashed. And who do you think it is?
Do I hear reindeer on my roof?
Rantlers, unbelievable. It's like a
Rantlers.
billion.
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay.
See, this
you know what
is so bad.
No,
So
but
bad.
it's so bad. Okay, Jared. Again, sorry to keep picking on you, Jared, but you're a dad and I'm a dad.
Yeah.
I watch Rocky do this, and I'm like, I'm on board. I love it. I love that I'm embarrassing my kids. I love doing this kind of stuff. It's fantastic. So it's funny when I was younger, I thought Rocky was acting stupid.
Yeah.
But now that I'm a dad, oh no, he's just acting like a dad. He's being
Well,
silly and goofy.
he's obviously he's enjoying himself a great
Yes.
deal, and
Yeah.
I think that's what resonates with me. I don't know. I think Rocky probably doesn't read the room very well, because like by the time my daughter was Rocky Jr.'s age, I probably wasn't playing this kind of stuff with her. Maybe when she was younger, but
Yeah, they're not 5.
No, they're teenagers.
No,
Yeah.
And-
no.
Well, I mean, I
know,
think
but
chronologically they should be 5. But,
Like 9, yeah.
in
yeah,
the Rocky
Nine,
5
nine,
Time Warp wormhole universe,
Good point.
yeah, Sage is drinking age now. So
Hey, maybe that's why he's doing this. In Rocky's head, his kid is still 9.
yeah, he's like,
yeah.
wait, this is only 3 months
Mhm.
separated from Rocky 3. So what am
Well,
I?
let me say this: the whatever the age they are, they're tweens at the very least. So what
Yeah.
I mean by that is that
I-
I have a daughter who's 10 and a half going on to 14, and
Okay.
so like it's it seems like just last year I could have been silly about reindeer. Now, not this year.
Sure.
So it
Mhm.
can happen very quick because Rocky's going to say, "Remember last year when we did?" So
But-
this is very common for parents to experience.
And,
Like, oh,
well,
my
it's
kids don't like the silliness anymore.
especially Christmas, because my daughter still likes, she's 18 and she still likes for Santa to come,
come.
because
Yeah,
she
of
doesn't
course.
want to see those gifts before Christmas morning. She wants to
Right.
wake up and see new
Yeah.
gifts.
You play along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
And we
course.
still do that.
We still do
And-
stuff from Santa too, and I have
Mhm.
kids who are in their 20s, so we give them Santa from
Yeah.
Santa. It's like socks.
Of
You know,
course.
the big gifts, the one that cost me true coin, that's from me, boys.
Yeah.
You want
Right
credit
now.
for that. You
Oh,
want
yeah.
credit.
Yeah, the
It's
Xbox
funny.
is from Dad.
Yeah, that's right.
I talked to somebody that I work with. She was saying that she's kind of pissed because all presents come from Santa for their kids.
No,
And she's like, I don't get any. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have started that.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
all presents come from Santa.
No,
And
it's a
so she
cons-
doesn't
it's
get
a
credit.
yeah, it's a what do you call it? It's a team effort to make Christmas
Mhm.
fun.
Sure.
Parents and Santa, yeah.
But
And,
yet, Ryan, I would say, to answer your question, I sort of relate to his excitement.
Sure.
I just don't know if I would be acting like this.
Well, that's where I was going, Ryan. Not necessarily him being playing up the like my kid's not like the dad, the silly dad. It's the acting. It's another example of his weird brain damaged acting, and it's
Yeah,
really bad. It's really bad here.
See, that's the thing. I don't disagree because I thought that too. I guess in this moment right now, I'm kind of feeling. I think he's being more silly dad, which
Mhm.
when you're silly dad mode, you are being a little bit
Yeah.
goofy. So I think you're right. There is already the brain damage Rocky in there, but I think he's just being silly for Christmas, which just makes it a little bit worse. But
Mhm.
it's all there.
It's
Uh,
additionally, I wanted to point out this house, while in a bad neighborhood in Philly, the banister cap here is like crystal.
Yeah, look
That's
at
that's
that.
quite nice.
Maybe they stole it from the mansion before
Yeah.
they got kicked out.
oh, Donald brings up a good point that Rambo was friends with Santa in the cartoon universe.
Oh, you should have known that, Ryan.
I haven't seen all the Rambo cartoons. I don't think I ever will. There's too many. I only have so much time left on this planet. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Oh, come on. Look who's here. You know this guy.
You got a weird family. Don't I know?
It's gonna be next Christmas before he gets down.
I do love how Robert is like sitting at the chair, comfy chair on like almost like the Godfather-esque type mafia guy. He's at the and his little minions are at his feet. He's like, "Don't I know?" Like, okay, cool with the bad boy. You beat up the bully. Like the badass Robert. Not my favorite Robert.
Yeah, agreed.
Is this Christmas Eve?
Yes, I think so.
And these
think
kids
so.
are there, not at home.
Well, their home probably really sucks.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Rocky's family really likes to host kids
Christmas.
at Christmas Eve. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what Robert should have said there? What do you think I am, a nerd?
Yeah, good call.
Hey, they put it together for Santa. Hey.
Merry Xmas, yo, yo, yo.
Hey, I don't think you got it right, Santa. No. It's ho, ho, ho.
What's the freaking difference? Where I come from is yo, yo, yo.
Oh, looks like we got a 90 proof Santa.
All right. He's getting ready for his role in Entourage.
Yes,
that
he is.
line delivery, yeah. That's actually a good line, which I assume Sly wrote, which is great. I'm surprised no one else is like. Why is Robert not even laughing? Is he mad that he didn't come up with the joke, or is he mad that it's his uncle, even though he's irritated by the whole thing? That's a great joke, though. I thought it was.
He's embarrassed, probably. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. But look how he's even sitting on the chair with his arms up on, like he's the king.
You're
Yeah.
right.
It's a very odd posture to have, and he's got his buddy in between his legs. You think his
I know
girlfriend would be,
that's weird. Wasn't
what is-
Adrian kind of sitting like this in the first movie? Like, wasn't she sitting on the floor? And while they were before?
No,
Paulie
she was.
comes in,
She was.
was she
her
sitting in
before
his
when?
lap? No, just
Before-
in the first movie when they're sitting in this.
Watching the
apartment.
Christmas
yeah.
movie.
She,
Yeah.
was
was,
like,
sitting
she had his
behind
arm over his leg. She had his arm over his
Yeah,
leg.
and he
while
was sitting in this chair, I guess, or what?
Oh,
Similar.
that would have been a callback to have
Mhm.
Jewel sitting like that. But yeah, I guess they got a
I guess they just
special
rather have his,
relationship.
his buddy sit between the man spread.
No, when I was 14, as much as I liked my best friend at 14, I don't think I would have had him sit between my legs on the couch. I
yeah.
don't think. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but just me. I think I would rather have my girlfriend there than my
Sure.
guy friend. That's just me, though. But yeah, each to their own.
Hey, Santa, tell all the kids what you got in the bag for them that you brought from the north.
Sweet little moment there. I just like Talia Shire / Adrian, puts her head on her husband's shoulder. Like she's trying to, like she's enjoying Christmas and she loves her husband. She's in a good place right now because she's with her husband and there's no
And Tommy's
Tommy
not
here.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even Paulie, like she loves her brother. I don't know. It's a sweet little moment. I mean, she's dead in 12 years. But anyways, yeah.
Oh gosh.
I know it's weird that Adrian's character is dead in 12 more Christmases.
Man.
It's depressing.
I got my laundry.
No, you got the whole bag.
Come on, Chubby, get out of the way.
Yeah, watch.
Chubby.
Take a seat.
Come on, Chubby, get out of the way.
Was that the friend or was that Chicky that he says that to?
That's the kid with the skater
Flop.
haircut.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you call it, a skater haircut?
I don't know.
I call it something, but I can't say. Come here, little boy. You've been nice. That's Paulie talking to Robert, I think.
Yeah.
little boy.
Come here, little boy. You been nice?
Uncle Paulie,
Come over here. Sit down.
Hey, kid, why don't you tell Santa what you need? What you...
stretching the clothes, man. I don't need nothing.
Come
Oh,
on, hey,
boy.
kid.
Yeah, I know the whole
Big time in front of your
gangster-
friends.
Yeah, I don't need nothing.
I don't need nothing.
Yeah.
You're stretching my
All right?
clothes.
You're stretching my. I'd be like, oh, really? You don't need internet, cable, heat in your room? Cool. You're good to go.
However, his uncle is trying to like pull him down on his lap in front of his friends when you're like
Yes.
14 or however
That's a
old
little
they're
weird.
supposed to be.
That's
Yeah,
a little weird.
Yes.
he's
Creepy,
embarrassed.
yeah. Well, they are sharing a bed together. Maybe they're just very comfortable with each other.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah.
Tell Santa what you really want. Come on.
That ain't Santa. It's Uncle Paulie. Let's get real.
What do you mean get real? You know, why you talking like that? We're just trying to have a good time and Santa's here and everything. And...
It's stupid.
Yo, you know, come on, it ain't stupid. We're just trying to pretend here. But you see, you're supposed to be pretending.
I had the TV on, off. Rocky turned it off when he came down. Paulie turns it on during the argument. Rocky turns it off again. Like I just love that back and forth with the TV.
It reminds me of the over the top scene with the radio.
Remind me.
The kid who is also kind of an annoying age,
Yeah.
just like Robert is here. And his name's no, it's Michael. Never mind. And they turn it on and off, on and off, on and off the
Oh.
radio station
Oh, I've
in the
you know,
truck.
yeah. I will probably die and never watch the film again.
I fucking love it.
Why?
I love it so much.
I don't understand you. I don't understand. I don't. And I love Sly, but there's some
I'll watch
films you guys-
it once a week and not get sick of it. I love
How is
Wow.
that possible? Stop it.
Over the top?
Yeah, love
Oh,
it.
holy cow.
Come on, somebody come to my rescue here.
I-
Over the
Yeah, I
top,
know
it's
you-
so
I mean,
fun.
I'm probably in the minority, maybe, but I don't even like it. I like ironic. Oh, dude, it's so stupid. I love it. I hate arm wrestling as a sport. I hate the kid in it. I don't like him just keep exercising his one arm in the truck. It's just I don't like it at all. I don't like any of it.
I don't really like the kid in it either, but it's so I really, 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 truly love that movie.
Wow.
It's weird, Katie. That is weird, and I love you. And I'm not even
No,
I'm not
no,
criticizing you. I just find that
I
weird.
swear, somebody, please come to our rescue.
Again,
Send the emails.
you're not
Send the
alone.
emails.
But I think people like it even. You know how? Okay, I don't want to start with. It's just
Yeah.
a movie of Sly. Even when I was a kid, that's the thing. Even when it came out, and I was like that age, like it came out when I was what 11, 12.
Wow.
Like I remember when it came, and I loved Rambo and Rocky, so I was a
Mhm.
Sly fan. This movie comes, I'm like, no, no thanks. This is dumb. It's
Well,
weird.
the-
As a kid, I didn't like it.
The little montages of the characters in it. You get Robert Loggia. Sylvester
Yeah.
Stallone looks like
That's
super
That's
hot in
probably-
it
That's
too.
probably part of what it is for you. That's
Mhm.
got to be part of what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Fair enough, and that's fine. That's fair. Yeah, what a waste of an opportunity for him to do something else.
It was so fun. I love it. Anyway, okay.
Just Sly, and I'll say this 100 times. I don't care. I love Sly, but boy, he has wasted so much time
hmm
in his career.
That's not a
like,
waste though. I treasure that movie.
That's fair. That's fine.
You're like, anywho, I've lost
No,
respect for you.
No, that is not. I'm not like that at all. I don't do that kind of. No, you like what you like. I don't want people to like what I like. That's. But I'm surprised. I'm like legitimately surprised. But I didn't realize you liked it that much.
I
till
really
now.
do. It's
Wow.
one of my favorite Sly movies. I really
Yeah.
truly
Crazy.
love it. Mhm.
Okay, Jared, what's your overall feeling on? The arm
you
wrestling
know,
movie.
I'm fine. I've seen it probably twice. I
Yeah,
haven't
you
seen
and I-
it
you and I
like
are the
30
same.
years.
Yeah, you and I are the same. I think we were the same age, came up the same way with Sly. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny.
I don't know.
It
You
never
guys
resonated with
rewatch
me.
it. It's 80s
did.
gold. 80s.
I did
it's
rewatch
just
it.
80s gold.
Well, I haven't
Yeah.
watched it in many, many years, so
Oh, okay.
maybe I should rewatch it.
Go. Yeah, let us know. Report back.
Mhm, mhm.
Send an email. Send an email. Let us know what
Yeah.
your thoughts are.
You might have to take another 6-week course or something
Yeah, that's
first,
true.
but
It's like this game, right? You know.
I don't like pretending. Why don't you guys talk to Santa?
Hey, okay, I ain't talking to them. I'm talking with you here. You know, see, it's very important that you spend time with the family, you know, and have a good time and just getting the spirit going, you know, it's good, right?
Good for what? Come on, let's go.
So I do like how Rocky is like little Johnny come lately, trying to save his relationship with his son, and even Paul is like, "Ooh, this is kind of
Yeah. Ollie knows it's going south quick.
yeah."
Well, not. I think it's that he and Adrian give that knowing look, like, oh, how ironic that he's
That's what I mean. That's what
Yeah.
it's Johnny come lately. Like he's talking about saving his son and spending time together and pretending and all this stuff. I like what Robert says. You guys want to talk to Paulie? I'd be like, sure, Paulie. What do you got in the bag there, brother? What do you got? Yeah, but he's the leader of the gang. I think that's what we're led to believe here. Robert's the leader. He's the leader of the gang now, of the friends.
Mhm.
Do you like the Christmas decorations? Pretty well done there. You got the red background curtain thing with the Christmas bell saying Merry Christmas on it, draped over the
The
door.
red background curtain thing.
Well, those used to be whatever happened to, like, we had, I remember
Felt
them
is
more
like
so
felt
for
material. Felt material.
Well, yes, but I remember more so for Halloween, those like paper decorations that you'd put up. It's, like the paper pumpkins or skeletons or something. And then,
yeah.
You just
it's
hang
kind
them
of
on.
like that. And then they have all of their, it's a nice touch, whoever
though?
set this. Well, like it's realistic. Like this is the 90s.
What
They
it-
don't have a lot of money. And then their Christmas
I
cards.
like the
that they-
Christmas cards.
the
I wonder who
Christmas
those
cards.
cards are from. Who are
Yeah,
they
no, I
from?
was thinking the same thing.
Their parents
like-
are dead. They have
The
no
Creeds.
family.
The Creeds.
No, they haven't
No?
talked since the funeral.
That's
remember?
right. That's right.
Wow. Yeah,
Probably
Tony,
fans. Probably
Tony,
fans.
Duke, Tony.
Yeah.
possibly. Interesting.
His friends are here. Maybe he doesn't want to.
Hey, Adrian, I know what he wants.
How do you know what I want?
Because I know you.
You know me? He thinks he knows me.
Okay, you know what? I'm like, you know how badly, man. If my son, I was like, okay, dude, you calm the we're down right now. Like, okay, I get it. You think you're a man now, but thankfully, I've raised 5 boys, and I've just never had this. I've never had any of this kind of talk back to me ever in my
Well,
life.
you didn't kick your kid down to the basement
No,
and forget
I
about him
know,
and go
but-
train some.
And it doesn't make me a great father. I'm not the best. I make mistakes. Blah blah blah. Of course, da da da.
Sure.
But it's just I see these dramas and stuff. I know this stuff exists. But I guess I've just raised them in a certain way where it never. You're right though, Katie. I didn't do that, but he thinks he knows me. It's just funny. But if I see my kid like this right now, if I was Rocky, I'd be like, okay. I think Robert cares enough to have this conversation. There's something there. We can, of course, it does get built on. But I'm not a family therapist. But I would suspect that Robert, the way he's acting, means he actually cares about something. There's still something there, right?
Oh,
Because-
yeah.
like, yeah.
Because if he
you
didn't,
have
he
a lot-
wouldn't. Apathy would be.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah. Are you saying, Ryan, like? Well, Rocky's always been kind of a kind of like, they're not at this time. It wouldn't be surprising that like the dad would like smack him. I know Rocky wouldn't, but like, don't you
No,
dare
yeah.
talk back to me, son.
that was
kind of a
Paulie's
thing.
kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then that's a whole other issue. You're right. Once you've done
Mhm.
that, now you've lost them. Now
Mhm.
you can't. There's no coming back. But that's sass. But there you go. That's the environment that Robert's been raised in, where he knows he can do that. It
Right.
doesn't make it bad or good. He's
Mhm.
in a home where he can kind of
Mhm.
yell at his parents. When Rocky's not yelling, the kid is yelling. So
Mhm.
Jules like, oh, this is uncomfortable. She's a Christian too. I realize that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or
So
Catholic, yeah.
has Polly or Tommy already moved out?
No,
I
he's
mean,
still in the basement.
Well,
officially.
so they're all just going down to Tommy's bedroom to hang out.
Yeah, I would be careful to look under the bed.
Well, didn't we see him with the new like apartment? Didn't he? Did we already see that?
He was shown the apartment. You're right, but I guess we never officially saw him move his things out. But you're right. I guess you could say he's there now with Karen,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Or the girls that he met at the training facility,
Mhm.
mixed gym. Yeah. Now we're gonna get to a deleted scene before we close off here. I want to make sure we get to there's a scene of them going to the basement. It's coming up right now.
Okay.
Look, I ain't celebrating nothing, okay?
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, yo, come here. What's the matter with you? You know, we always done this before. We always had a good time, Adrian. You know,
He hit puberty, Rocky. Your kid hit puberty. Welcome to teenage life.
we don't have to change nothing never. I mean, do you remember last year when we had fun, when we had a good time?
And we had a mansion with
Yeah.
money.
You were in Russia.
True.
You were fighting. I was at home with the robot.
Yeah.
See, that's
Literally
the thing.
last year.
Great point, Case. So is this truly a year after the landing of the plane, or is this longer? The timeline is just
Well, it's just a movie mistake. I mean, not necessarily a mistake, not a mistake, but they just went with.
They were just
They're
like, yeah.
they're pretending like.
but easy script change. Remember previous Christmases
Mhm.
would have been a save there. Remember
Right,
other
good point.
Christmases where we did this?
Really good
Don't
point.
mention last year's where I almost died in the ring with fighting a
Mhm.
super creature.
Yeah.
But then he goes on to say it ain't last year and you ain't the same either. So this is to indicate like it's yeah.
Mhm.
Tommy had 22 professional fights in 3 months. This I know.
You can't fix it. There's no
No.
reconciling.
Last year, and you ain't the same either.
What? Adrian, what I do?
See, and I feel bad for Rocky because his heart is pure, even though his actions have made error. Like he's made an error training Tommy. He got lost. Like he just got lost in the excitement. It's not evil. He didn't do anything evil or
Mhm.
malicious. He just lost sight of what
Yeah.
was really important. Getting excited about training somebody, and everyone else outside, like his entourage, his family, sees it. He didn't see it, and now it's coming to a head, so to speak.
Mhm.
And Adrian goes, "Go talk to him." Okay, good advice.
Not in front of his friends, though.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see that scene that did not make it. Tell me if you think it should have stayed in the theater.
Mm.
Go talk to him.
Even I could have saw this thing happening. I should have went to Miami when I had the chance.
All right. You still go, you drunk. It's like no one's stopping you. It's not too late. Just because the
Yeah.
fight is like, Paul, are you sticking around to save the family? Go.
Good
No.
point.
Yeah.
Was this the same? Was he talking about it in this movie, the Gigolo thing? Was
Yeah,
that the
yeah,
same movie?
That's
Okay.
why- that's why he's talking about. He should have been a
Mhm.
gigolo. But Adrian looks at him like, geez, Paul. There you go.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Santa sent me down to check you guys out. See everything.
Santa sent me down to check you guys out. Well, he's still trying. Okay, enough of this.
Why is
they've
it
moved.
so dark?
It's just the work print. I don't
I
know why
know,
work
but-
print have to, but there's no lighting. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
weird. And they're playing rock and roll. They're showing, we're down here listening to some rock and roll, rebelling against our parents. We're not listening to the Christmas soundtrack music,
It's okay. Hey, I like to tell you, though, if I turn this thing down a little bit.
Rocky's turning down radios, turning off TVs. I have the same way. If I had to talk to my kids, can you put your phone
Yeah.
down so I can talk to you? Thanks.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Nothing. Well, why'd you get so crazy on me up there?
That's the name of the
We
game.
got things to do, huh? Let's go.
Yeah, I know, just talking all of a sudden, one word leads to another, and I started going. I like to talk can I talk with you?
Let's talk.
Well, because you're my boy, and, we're supposed to be close.
No, what you want is you and Tommy be tight. That's what you're really talking about.
I don't say that.
Since he's been here, it's Tommy this, Tommy that. You don't have no time for nobody, so I got no time for you. Let's go.
What are you saying to me? You're like another person.
You're the other person. You said I would be number one to you. You said that and you lied.
I never lied to you. Tommy needed my help.
So did I.
Okay, so some of that part, of course, was from the original cut as well. But a little bit extra where Rocky, the part they cut out was just like Rocky's coming down, he's making peace, but he's kind of asking, like, I love that. Good call on that, Katie. Like, why'd you get so crazy up there? That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game of being a teenager. but Rocky's a little bit confused, and he's actually hurt. Like he's never been chewed out by his son before. And I think it pains him. Like he's I think he's equally as confused as he's hurt.
He's oblivious. Like this is really shocking him. I mean, it's kind of wild for us as the viewers to see. And that bit that wasn't in the theatrical cut that Robert says, he really points out, I think it would have been good to leave that bit in about you want to be close with Tommy. That's what you really want. That wasn't in the theatrical version.
Yeah,
was
it is. Yeah,
Oh.
it is. Yeah, it is that part there. From the time he turns on the light onward a little bit, that's the.
Oh,
cut.
okay.
But I just kept it in because it just saves me
Mhm,
having to.
mhm.
Yeah.
Sure.
And remember when you said to watch out for scams and deceptions?
Yeah?
You're the one that should have watched out.
Ooh.
Dropping some knowledge.
But see, what I don't understand is how does Robert know about George Washington Duke? That's the only thing, because that's what he's telling the audience a little bit. He's saying you've lost your fighter. You've been scammed and deceived, because that's what we're thinking. Or else, what's he referring to?
Tommy. Just that
That's
Tommy's
what I mean. How
gonna
does he
turn on
know
him.
that Tommy? But how does he know? He's 14. Daddy's training this boxer. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, honestly, how does he know Tommy's gone to the dark side?
Well, he sees the TV things. He's not
Sure.
there at Christmas. Like, I see your point, Ryan, but we could explain it away.
Yeah.
I guess you did. I guess you're right. He's just very astute for
Mhm.
he is a smart guy. I know, but it's just like I just love how Robert even knows his dad has lost Tommy. All right, but no one's told Rocky this. But it's like Rocky and Adrian maybe have discussions about it behind his back.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can't stand the way he says deceptions. I don't know. It's always and earlier in the film he goes, "You're talking about deceptions." It's like no, nobody talks that way.
Robert does.
I guess it's just like a robot.
Remember, when Robert talks, it makes you feel stupid. That's what he does.
Okay.
Where are you going? Out. When are you coming back? Later. Later. When?
Season's greetings, Mrs. Bellboy.
Good evening.
Oh my God.
looking Santa. And missing bid's a nice touch, don't it?
There you go back. You got to hear that again. There's
That maniacal laugh.
Yeah. Let's go back to that. Now they make fun of Paulie when Paulie walks out. This is for the
Yeah.
workers' print, of course. They make fun of Paulie. You got to listen to what they say here. Check it out.
Good evening. That's an interesting looking Santa.
And missing bid's a nice touch, don't it?
That's an
Missing
interesting
what?
look-
Missing beard.
A missing
Oh.
Missing
beard.
beards is a nice touch. And there's Paulie out there to bust some chops. He knows about these things. He's not afraid to break thumbs. But that's the thing is, Paulie talks a big talk, but he just lets them walk right
He
into
just
the house.
lets him in.
I thought he was supposed to be the tough guy. He's not afraid to break thumbs.
Yeah.
Well, he gets knocked.
Well-
Now you know. So what does he say at the fight? Why don't you try knocking me down?
Yeah.
What does Paulie say?
No, like later, like Polly is kind
Oh.
of a.
He goes,
I
"You're
mean,
a real piece
yeah.
of garbage. You know that?"
And then he
He
gets
goes, you
punched.
should have left. Then he goes, you should have left them on the street where you
Yeah.
found them, Rock.
It's been a while since he's worked for Gazzo, so he
Mhm.
probably
Yeah,
hasn't
maybe.
broken arms or thumbs in a while.
But didn't he fight somebody when he got retired? When he got retired from the Rocky Balboa? Didn't he have a black eye or something?
He said he
He
punched
sees-
himself in the face.
Yeah, but I think we're led to believe you got into a fight with the boss, probably.
Oh.
Oh yeah, good point. Oh, this old style limo too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a long car.
Mhm.
It's just your typical like 80s car, but it's just 4 cars attached to each other.
You take care of these people.
Ooh, Adrian.
All the Santa fall season.
I love
Now, what does that
him.
mean?
I
A
don't
Santa
know.
You know?
but-
Oh, you know what it means? You know what it means? I got
What?
it. The
What?
the workers print calls it out. That's an interesting Santa and the no beard. So I think he's saying because he doesn't have a beard, he
He-
can be a
he-
Santa for all.
sure.
He's a Santa for all
Oh.
4 seasons of the year.
Maybe. Yeah.
I love Richard Gant in this whole scene. He's like, season's greetings, my lord. He's so goofy and funny. I
Oh,
don't
it's
know.
great.
You know,
This would have been a fun role to play.
Yeah, he's like, give him. We don't want your presents. I'll give them to the neighbors.
Yeah,
I love it.
he's great. He just rolls over things. But yeah, Paulie, let's see how you do as a bouncer here, Paulie.
You guys lost?
Au contraire, mon ami. I know exactly where I am.
Yo, Rocco, guess what's coming to dinner?
Did you lie? No, you didn't lie. You did nothing, you know. These kids, sometimes they change when they get, like, more hair and things.
Rocco!
Yeah?
At first, I was like, "Oh, this is sweet," and then he ruined it.
when they get more hair.
They get more. So he does mention puberty. So, but I don't know. I kind of like that scene. Rocky's still down there contemplating. He's trying to figure out,
Yeah, he's
where
talking
did I go
through
wrong?
it. Yeah.
It's actually a sweet little scene because you just see like he wasn't meaning to be the bad dad. Everyone, oh, he's a bad father, but he's legitimately confused where it went wrong. He's trying to like why kids do change when they become teenagers. Maybe I never lied to him. I don't remember lying to him.
He got his pubes. I don't understand.
He is a hairy kid. That. His genes. I never caught Paulie's reference to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner before.
Yeah, because it's black.
Well,
but he does. But he does look
at work print. Or did
no, that was the original.
That's original. Okay.
So, but yes, he says that. However, because that's of course regarding the Sidney Poitier film, but he looks over Richard Gant's shoulder to look at Tommy and Karen though when he says that.
Okay.
No, I know, but and he says, "Guess what's?" But I never caught everything. I've always really loved Paulie as a character for some reason. Like everything he does is very specific, just like Rocky. Like I love how Sly writes Paulie to be very specific and like quippy.
Yeah. Well, Paulie, he don't like those people.
What do they ever do to him?
To you?
Well, maybe they don't like you much neither.
They bring weird presents.
Tommy Gunn's got new friends. New friends for a new year.
This maniacal laugh.
See, I love how Adrian's mad at him. Like, you didn't do anything. You literally let these people walk right in. She's like, oh, Paulie.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her. She's had enough of this. She really, and I get it. When there's someone you don't like, you really don't want to see them, let alone Christmas Eve. Like, this is a really bad Christmas for the Balboas.
Good point. And she meant business. She was like, take care of this.
Yeah.
And then he didn't.
She should have. Because she's the one with the cojones in this family.
Now, you see how this shot is framed, though? This does look almost exactly like the first movie.
Good point.
The framing and the furniture and the TV and all that. Everything.
Very good point.
You're not wrong. I wonder if you have to go back and watch the first Rocky film. If you could almost argue we just never see the stairs.
Yeah, maybe.
Huh. Okay. All right. Fair enough. But you're right about that, Jared. Good call.
Nice street.
Good call on that.
Charming.
Yeah.
Charming. Yeah, quite cozy.
And I just that was it for the workers print. They took that part out. Oh, very cozy.
Quite cozy.
But they took that literal 2 seconds out of the original cut, and we go back to the good theatrical cut.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
Merry Christmas, my lord. Greetings.
Yeah, how you doing?
Listen, I don't want to take up too much time. I just want to come by and give a little seasoned greetings.
I don't need no presents.
I'll give them to the neighbors. Look, you've done a hell of a job with the man. Facts are facts. I'd have to be blind if I didn't say a title shot isn't in the cards.
Title shot?
That's right, title shot. Now we're going to work beautifully together. No problems. No friction. Only harm.
So he steps over Paulie's legs. I like how Paulie didn't move his legs. It's a good little moment there. He looks at Paulie. Are you going to move your legs? Paulie's like, nope, not going to move my legs. He has to step over Paulie.
Good point.
Yeah.
I hate all the fur in Rocky movies. There's like an excessive amount of it.
It's all fake fur. Don't worry. Full fur.
Mm-hmm.
It's faux fur. Don't worry, Katie. I promise. It's full leather, faux fur, and it's a real and it's real hair on. Put this way, yeah, I was gonna say it's all fake. Stallone's hair. It's all fake fur.
It's time to put some hustle behind this muscle. Well, Tommy boy here's got a little something personal to discuss with you, so I'm going to be saying good night. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Wonderful man.
There, they
Well-
took that part out. Karen just says,
Just
"Wonderful man."
Wonderful man.
Is that why would they take that out, Katie? Like they took out that one little quick.
I don't know. I mean, like she is just a propaganda machine. I don't know. Maybe I don't know why they took that out. I'm not sure.
See you soon, huh?
Bye.
Sorry I'm late. I got up having dinner.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of traffic in there. Hey, Tommy, Adrian cooked something, but it's probably all cold.
It's a lot of traffic.
On
the workers'
Christmas
parade.
Eve.
So they can make sandwiches, and just for the sake of time, we're just going to get to the part where when they go outside, we'll stop it there. And next episode will be the big street scene.
All we can do is make sandwiches. It's just no big.
Rocky, I don't want to make sandwiches. I
That's
wanna
no big
make-
deal.
Tommy, why did you bring him here?
He just wanted to come by. I mean, Rocky, mind if I talk to you outside about a few things?
Oh yeah, sure.
You know, again, to Tommy Morrison's credit and Tommy Gunn's character's credit, that's really good acting. You hear the voice cracking. It's like he sounds nervous because he knows he's about to break Rocky's heart and or tell Rocky, like, you know, Duke's giving me some opportunities here that you weren't doing. And now he gets defensive and angry, but he isn't that way now, right? Like,
Well, he's
he
rebuked.
hopes
He's rebuked by Adrian, and that seems to
that
bring him
starts it.
bring him down a few pegs.
But I do like how his voice, is kind of quivering. And you're right, Jared. Yeah, the hell hath no fear like a woman scorns. The fact that like he's not going to yell at Adrian or get mad at Adrian.
Yeah.
So of course he'll get knocked out by Rocky right there. but that being said, like you hear in Tommy's voice that quiver. I think it's just great acting by a non-actor. Do that, like he's nervous and you could tell he knows what's coming. And he does use anger, but I think it's used later as a defense mechanism, not as like, I'm angry at you, Rocky. He's just, you know, when hopefully you haven't done it too often, but you ever been in a fight with someone you love? It didn't start that way. You kind of came in with hat in hand, but it ended up, oh, I got called out for some BS. And then you get angry because I got called out. How dare you get angry at me? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting late. We have to be there by 10. Rocky.
No, it's okay.
All right. So we'll stop it there. Big scene coming up. Yeah. So, Jared, what are your overall thoughts there on what we covered today in Rocky V land?
Well, you know, talking about Rocky V is always an interesting experience. You know, I think in our conversation today we talked about the time travel plot holes, and you know, we compared it favorably or unfavorably to other movies in the series. And but you know, when you take it in isolation, that's one thing I like about your examination of the film that you're doing on the podcast, especially with the work print, which I have seen but I'm not overly familiar with. It puts a whole new spin on Rocky V. And I just think your examination of the work print alongside the theatrical cut is very interesting, and it breathes new life into, you know, what for me is my least favorite of the movies, but it's fascinating, and you know, I liked what we talked about today. You know, Richard Gant, again, just having left that scene. That's for some reason, every time I see that, it makes me laugh, just the way he's acting. And it was awesome that you had him on the show a while back on your original show.
Yeah,
hey, you should plug that interview.
I got to get it up there and put it on this feed. It's on the last of the Action Heroes podcast feed, but it's like
it's buried
at the beginning.
Well, so if you just search for Richard Gant, listeners, you would find it, right? Like
I think so. It's on YouTube as well. Like if YouTube's easier to search, Richard Gant interview, Going the Distance, or with Ryan or something, it'll come up.
No, I mean in the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network. Like if you have that podcast open, you just in your search bar.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, it searches by episodes then.
Oh, okay.
I mean, at least on my podcast player.
What app do you use? I'm just curious. It might help. What app?
Pocket Casts, but I used to use Stitcher. It was the same. Like once you're in the podcast, you can search episodes. So
Okay.
you just search Richard Gant in the feed, and it should bring that
Okay,
episode.
well, great.
up.
There you
If it's
go.
in the
Thank you.
episode name anyway, which I
It
assume.
well, it should. Yeah. Interview with that guy.
And
No.
you've inspired me today. I'm going to actually watch Rocky and look at the differences between the two houses and see if it's the same thing. And I'll report back to you.
Well, I think
The exterior is.
Yes, the exterior is definitely the same.
Mhm.
But
Interesting.
the
Okay.
interior.
You know what? I'd never caught that before. We happened to pause it. You're right, Jared. That angle, I'll give it to you. Yeah, that was
Mhm.
like, okay, that looks like that one passes. Maybe we just never see the camera. The closest we might get is when they're on the couch before the baseball bat scene. What do we see behind? That's over.
Yeah.
Do we see enough over their shoulder of a wall or stairs over their shoulder? I don't remember.
I don't think there's stairs there. I mean, clearly it's a different set. And they had to have stairs for the purposes of this movie.
Of the Rantler.
Yeah.
Because the bedroom in the original movie, one of the bedrooms in the original movie was at the back of the house, past the kitchen. That's where
Right.
Adrian's bedroom was. So I think it's like actually is different, but given that scene, they did make some attempts to make it look.
I think that's the middle ground, Katie.
Mhm.
Fine. Yeah. That they want us as a viewer to think it's the same house with that
Mhm.
angle. Yeah. Agreed. Okay. Well, that was fantastic. Jared, would you like to do the outro? Do you remember how it goes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't hear no bell.
Okay, well, just wait. Yeah, I have to
Oh,
say the
crap.
episode's over.
I'm sorry.
Wait. PS before the episode is over.
Yeah. Please.
You won't be shocked at what I'm going to say. I found someone on my side.
Regarding what?
Over the top. Donald says he's with me. Great soundtrack. The best arm wrestling movie ever made. So just, big
Best
shocker.
arm wrestling movie ever made. Wow.
Of
Congratulations.
4 of them. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I know.
Go check out my review of Over the Top on the Sylvester Stallone Podcast Network with Craig and Doug. And I can't remember my exact feelings, but I think I just overall I don't like the sport of arm wrestling or slapping. There's something about those sports that stress me out. So I don't know what it is, but the whole idea of bending an arm and then there's a scene Over the Top where the arm breaks for real, Katie. It's in the film.
I know.
They keep
That
it
was
in
a
the
real
film.
tournament that they filmed.
It's a real arm break.
I know.
They keep it in the film. Jared, did you know that?
I did not know that.
Mhm.
Yeah, have fun watching that when that comes on, everyone. Okay. Well, however, with that, this episode is over.
I didn't hear no bell.
Perfect.
I just want to say